The role of the private sector in combating the high levels of debt constraining growth in countries throughout the region was recently highlighted here by Vincentian University lecturer Dr. Justin Robinson. Dr. Robinson, while delivering a lecture organized by the Vincentian Student Association of the UE Cave Hill on the topic Economic Development Strategies in CARICOM, Institutional Incoherence or a Unique Hybrid, says since the post-war crisis of World War II, the public sector has been charged with the responsibility of ensuring that there is enough growth to sustain economies. Moreover, Dr. Robinson says it's time that the local private sector takes greater control of the development of the economy of SVG.
Future growth have to be more private sector led, in that given since the post-independence project, the lifting has largely been done by the public sector, by the state. So again, for me, it's not really an ideological question as to whether state is good, state is bad, which is actually one of the things when we get to the variety of capitalism framework, it argues that really different configurations have all done well. So one of the questions, how can more private sector-led growth be facilitated? So again, this is just continuing the point. I think there's certainly a case for debt relief, given the high levels of debt that we have, which are constraining growth. I mean, we are seeing that discussion in Greece. I mean, they're going to have to relieve Greece of the debt, and it just seems to me that it makes more sense to do it now rather than after 5 more years of suffering. Again, my only concern with debt relief is that in a sense it's an external solution. We don't quite control that, so I sort of want to focus on what we can control.
Credit unions and cooperatives must continuously seek to raise the bar of performance and compliance to meet the requirements of a stricter regulatory framework. That's according to President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Cooperative League Limited, Kelvin Pompey, who says such must be done against the backdrop of the world economic challenges to ensure the longevity and prosperity of the organizations and the satisfaction of the people which they serve.
The League and member societies welcome the expanded powers of effective regulatory coordination and competent supervision. We are fully committed to making the requisite changes to address the fitness and probity, governance and prudential, and the risk and audit requirements under the new regulatory regime. Given the substantial legislative changes that have been introduced, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Act consists of 250 sections. The Cooperative League, as the umbrella body for credit unions in the state, will continue to provide opportunities to educate member credit unions on the provisions of the new legislations so that they may be more equipped to operate at higher prudential levels and with greater effectiveness and efficiency.
Having set a new national record with 15 Grade 1 CSEC passes, Abigail Scott of the St. Vincent Girls High School is urging students to push themselves beyond limits in all they do. Scott says students should understand the importance of making sacrifices and being determined, as those are the keys to her successes.
Yeah, I would say I was a very consistent student. I came first from Form 3 to Form 5 straight, and I was the valedictorian at our graduation ceremony this year. All I have to say is that it's not an easy path, so be determined to work hard, know what you want to achieve, and dedicate your time and yourself to accomplishing that.
And Father Bernard Scott is urging parents here to play a greater role in their children's lives. Scott, while speaking to SVG-TV News yesterday following the release of the 2015 CSEC results, spoke of the importance of parents in ensuring their children are on the right path, which includes drawing them closer to God and positively encouraging them in all that they do.
Just let the children accept Christ and put the confidence in God, and encourage your children. If they see your child has a bent along a particular way, once it's legal, you encourage them along that way. Okay, it's important that they have the parents backing them. That's very important.
Scott also emphasized the need for parents to allow their children to set their own goals, which he says will serve as an incentive for the children to work even harder.
If they don't like what they're doing, they're not going to put, as much emphasis into it, right? They're going to say, oh, that's daddy's goal, it's not really mine. So then the effort will not be there. So it's important that they make some of the decisions, not daddy and mommy.
The 2015 Science, Technology, Engineering and Math, or STEM, summer program has been deemed a success for yet another year. On Friday, August 14th, the program came to an official end after a 5-week period. And the program's director, Petrus Gums, says the summer program challenges children to use their existing knowledge to explore less ventured fields of study. Gums adds the camp also provided the participants with insights on a number of lucrative jobs available and accessible in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Since the inception of the program, we have worked with over a total of 250 participants over the 3 years. This group included. This year, with the implementation of the primary program, we should have young adults. We decide that it is time, because of the number that we have worked with so far, that we have students who these young ones can look up to as mentors. So we decide to hand select individuals who we know are responsible, disciplined, and respected individuals to be among your primary school students, for these kids to at least have someone who we think is positive enough for them to look up to.
According to Gums, while there is no doubt that academics is important, it is not enough to take persons through their academic and professional lives.
And this year, we're happy to announce we had a total of 120 students. This one, we were able to implement an Easter workshop for teachers, because we found out not only students want STEM teaching, but teachers as well. If the answer is yes, that academic work is just enough for your child, you will not be sitting here with us today. We need to start working with kids to show them that what they are learning have other application, and it is important for the jobs of tomorrow. Technology, art, and science. Let's show them how all these subject areas incorporate into their everyday life and how they can use the same things to make themselves more marketable.